Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in Birmingham within 1 hour. Today we're back in Newham. 2 murders within about 24 hours in London. This happened on Thursday, October the 10th. A 15-year-old boy named as Baptista Adjei from North Woolwich was pronounced dead at the scene in Broadway. From what I know, it's outside the Stratford Centre, which is a very big shopping centre in the area. For example, the Stratford Centre is also where Jay Huss was arrested with a knife later on. They've described the young boy as a footballer. He used to play for a football team called Mindset FC, and they said in a statement it was a very dark day for the former player that used to play for them, and he's become a victim to knife crime. This is becoming far too normal nowadays, and the situation is getting out of hand, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has said that he's devastated by Baptista's death and also the other stabbing in Southwark that took place on the same day. The stabbing that happened in Southwark was actually on the Brandon estate. This was the home of Moscow 17. The Mayor said he's utterly devastated the 2 teenagers have died in such a short space of time. Baptista was 15 years old and an 18-year-old was killed on the Brandon estate. Police believe that Baptista was killed either on the bus or shortly after getting off it in the Tramway Avenue area. Some of his friends were present. This looks like he could have been coming home from school. I've looked it up on the map. There is a lot of school kids around here. It's a very busy public transport area, and also members of the public helped them, but he was found dead, but he died half an hour later after emergency services were called. And initially there was no arrests, but there was one thing that I want to take note of, is that Newham Council opened up a rest centre to provide shelter for anybody displaced by the police cordon. 29 people made use of that shelter on the first night, and it will remain open for as long as the police cordon is in place. So that means that he potentially died near like an apartment or something, and people are not allowed back in their property, which is quite a shocking thing. I imagine coming back from work and you can't go to your own house, and for example some people might not have other relatives around or local, and they might have to go to a centre that is used for flooding. This is used for like natural emergencies. If anybody that watches the channel knows anybody that stayed in any of these centres the other night, I'd love to hear of how that works and what, because I've never heard of it before in relation to a stabbing. Another thing that emerged not long after, a 15-year-old boy handed himself in at a police station, and he's been charged with murder and also the attempted murder, or GBH with intent I think it is, of another 15-year-old boy, because another 15-year-old was stabbed at the same time that Baptista lost his life. And an interesting thing to note about this 15-year-old boy that has handed himself in is that his mother his mother took him to the police station and made him hand himself in. And I've seen people talking about this online, a few people actually, a few tweets talking about not knowing what they're doing in that situation. Like, that must be the hardest thing she ever had to do. I think that was J5 actually, the producer, Jay Huss's producer, who said that must have been a very hard for her to have done, the hardest thing I imagine. But at the same time, it makes you think, is this what parents need to be doing sometimes? Do parents need to let their children know that if you get into some sort of situation like this, they are not going to protect you, because it could be a messed up situation, because if your parents end up covering up for you, they can get charges as well. Like, I know so many cases where parents have got perverting the course of justice due to just looking out for their child. So it's a very messed up situation, but I'd like to pay my respects to Baptista's family, and I wish them all the best in the future to try and get over this tragic loss. So please pay your respects to Baptista in the comments, and I really want to hear what people have to say on this. Please don't forget to join us again next time. Thank you very much. Peace.